Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to an episode of Magickal Musings where I share my beliefs surrounding that love, God, and magic is one word because we can't help who we fall in love with. When we perform magic, we have no control over how it manifests, and God is an unimaginable, powerful force. Now, in this episode, I am going to talk about if you why you think your magic is not working, okay, or why your magic is, you feel like your magic is blocked, or things, your magic is just failing you. Now, I've started this video at least 20 times, and we're just gonna just rock through this. We're gonna work through this. I'll do my best to explain this. Now, first, I want you to think of what you're trying to manifest. And this does not apply to everybody in every situation, but I'm talking about in general. If you feel like I'm doing magic and I keep doing all of these different workings and rituals and spells, and I'm working with Damien Brand books and that Gallery of Magics, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and nothing is working out for me, and I'm just, look, I don't know what's going on with you and your spiritual team, but I want to talk to you at a very, maybe at a philosophical, spiritual level. So, I want you to imagine that you want to build a house, okay? And I want the house to be symbolic of your dream. So, if you want to build a house, you're probably going to have a blueprint, most likely. And the blueprint is going to tell you how many bedrooms and where you're going to place the porch and the sink and all of the things that you need to do. So you could possibly use your magic to find the best contractors to build your home. Or when you go to the store, you're looking for the best, maybe I'm thinking the bricks or whatever. But because you have a blueprint and because you're very clear about what it is you want, now this can help you, magic can help you find the best people to build your home. Does this make sense? So now, I believe that a lot of people perform magic without a blueprint. You don't really know what it is you really want. You just know that you need some money, right? And so, so you're doing a lot of magic because you need money to come through, and money isn't coming through, and you don't understand why, and you feel that your magic isn't working. But I've said this in 1,000 videos, and I'll say it till the end of time. The most boring magic is the most important magic. And the magic that I think you should focus on is, where do I belong? What is my purpose? Where do I fit in? What is my true heart's desire? That is the magic. In my opinion, if I was talking to someone who was new to magic, because see, this is the thing. Let me just tell you this. And again, I'm back on my whole, I'm making these videos for future Cassandra. Because that's the only way I can be, sincere and just really talk from my heart. Because I'm not telling other people what to do. Because I'm still out here trying to figure things out for myself. But I can tell you this. If you focus, most of your energy on, oh God, I just need to make money, you're not thinking about things like, how do I want to feel when I wake up in the morning? And what brings me pleasure? What do I enjoy doing? Like, what would my life feel like if I was just really, living abundantly, if I was really just happy and enjoyed what I was doing, I think that if you just keep asking, for a little bit here and a little bit there, and that's exactly what you're going to get. But I think if you're asking for things like, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Where do I belong? Where do I fit in? What is true to my heart? Now, okay, that's the magic you should be doing. And I feel like, now let me tell you the trick about that though. But see, it's a, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I love being 60. I do. I love it because I can look back on data that I've collected. I can look at my life and see all of this magic and how it has worked over time. And I can see that, for me, I have always been very focused on, I don't know, I think it's, when I say I don't know, I just, in my mind, what am I going to leave behind? Like, what do, that there are a lot of people, like some people don't catch on until they're not here. People discover their books, like, Lev Vygotsky, I can't think of her name. She's a writer. But a lot of times when you create things from your soul, from your heart, Nikola Tesla, when he was here, people just didn't, get him. Now, I don't want to live a life like that, believe me. But what I'm trying to say is my focus is always on improving myself, learning new skills, how can I write this book? How can I bring them to life? How can I share who they are? I'm talking about my fabric beings and their storyline. So I'm going to tell you right now that, how do I say this? I think that most people do not see magic as a tool. So let's go back to the blueprint example. You have a blueprint for a house you're trying to build, right? So you have a hammer, you have a screwdriver, you have nails, whatever else people use when they're building homes. If you are building a dream, let's say it is to go back to school or to write a book, magic is a tool. It's a tool just like a hammer, just like a screwdriver. But I think what happens is that with a lot of people, magic becomes the focus. It becomes it takes the place of what it is you think, because of what you're building. Because the truth is, you don't really know what you're building. You don't really know what it is that you want. For example, and I'm gonna give another example that I know pisses people off, and let's just say you're looking for, you're doing magic to get it. I'm gonna just speak from my heart. I don't care, people. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I don't believe in doing magic to get exes back. You can do whatever you want to do. That's your life. I'm not the person who's going to do that. I'm not going to do magic to get a particular person, but I am going to do magic to create a blueprint for the characteristics of the type of person that I'm looking for. Like, I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want. I know what is important to me, right? So as opposed to you trying to control somebody else into being with you, who may have their eye on somebody else. Imagine this. You're doing a magic spell, a love spell to attract somebody or to make somebody fall in love with you, and they're doing a spell to be in love with somebody else because they're not interested in you. Like, I just honestly feel like, wouldn't it be amazing for God, the universe, to put you in alignment with the person who has all of the characteristics you're looking for? And for me, I don't know, like, not putting my personal business in the streets. I just feel like, God, you made me, you know what I like. You know what I like. And so I feel like, and there's this book. I think, I think Zana Blaze wrote this book. It's a really good book. And one of the things that she talks about is if you don't put down particular like physical characteristics, or the angels can work with you better in terms of what it is you're looking for. But anyway, the point I'm making is this, guys. If you are not clear about what it is you're looking for, or what you're trying to build, what you're trying to create, who you're trying to attract, I feel that is why your magic isn't working, because your blueprint is not super clear. So if you say, I am going to take a chemistry class, and now, this is a good example. Say you want to take a chemistry class, and you really need a good teacher because chemistry is not your best subject. To me, there is actually a ritual on how to find the best teacher, right? On how to find a good teacher or whatever, and a lot of the Gallery of Magic books, right? Now, if you say, I want to find a good teacher who is teaching on, let's say, Saturdays between 7 and 9 p.m., now you're going to run into some problems, I believe. I really do. I feel like when you ask for the good teacher, you got to be open, and you have to be flexible. And let me give you a quick example. I know this is silly, but it's in alignment with what I'm talking about. I was going to get my nails done, and I just wanted a really good person to do my nails. The minute I asked for that, it's like all the lights started catching me. It was just weird, because what happened is the universe started lining up the time so that I could meet the person who was going to do my nails exactly the way I wanted them to be done. And I think I talked about this in another video. But anyway, so your magic may not be working because your blueprint of what you are building and creating is not clear. So the angels, the spirits, whatever, they don't know what to do. Is it 2 bedroom and 3 bedrooms? Do you want upstairs? Do you want downstairs? Is it 3 chapters or 4 chapters? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, get crystal clear about what it is you truly want. And listen, there are a ton of books with the Gallery of Magic that have rituals on how to find where you belong, where you fit in, your heart's desire, what it is you really want, what is to be in alignment with your soul. Like, guys, I would honestly, if your magic isn't working, go to square one. Square one is, what is it do I really, 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 really want? Not what is it what the society think. Because see, and I'm going to tell you why this is so important. It's important because you may be asking for something or trying to create something with magic that is, that's out of alignment with your soul contract, out of alignment with what you really came here to do. And because you are so far, your earth, let's just say you are, 5'4" and 200 pounds, and you want to be a supermodel. I'm just saying, who knows, people could be what they want to be, but I'm just giving an example. Or you want to be a boxer, or you're thinking, how sometimes in society people say, oh, guess what, guys, this is the new big thing. Everybody is doing this. And so you just go, oh, let me go over here and create an avatar and make a faceless YouTube channel. And a lot of times when you're following trends, or you're just trying to do something that's out of alignment with your divine purpose, with God's plan for your life, that's why your magic isn't working. Because you are not in alignment with the blueprint of what it is you really want. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that would be the first thing you would do. And then the other thing I want to tell you, I don't want you to feel frustrated. But the other thing I want to tell you is let's just say you go and do a ritual on how to find where you belong, or how to find your divine purpose, or your divine plan, or to find where you fit in the world, or to uncover your gifts and talents. These are the type of spells you should be doing, right? Especially if you think things aren't working. Now, once you discover it, that's a whole nother ball game, because now that you've discovered, oh, I really enjoy video games, or I really enjoy teaching second grade. Okay, this is something that I really want to do. Okay, now the next set of magic is going to be, okay, now I have a blueprint, right? I have a plan. This is something that I really want to do. The trick is, once you engage, and let's just say you go to school to be a second grade teacher because you've discovered that it's your passion, you might discover that your goal is not to be a second grade teacher, but to create your own school one day, or to write books. I love God so much. You thought when you do a ritual, right? And you say, okay, my plan is I want to teach second graders, because this happens to me all the time. And you feel like, oh, I finally found my purpose, right? And then when you get there, it's like something doesn't feel right. But your purpose, a part of your purpose, is to write math books for second graders, because maybe you struggled in math and you have a special way of explaining math. But if you only teach in one classroom, you only reach a few students. So God may want you to write books so you can help millions of people, even when you are no longer here. You see what I'm saying? But when you get that feeling on your spirit, like, oh, okay, this is where I belong, don't limit yourself, because it's not a one. Okay. Now, for some people, maybe you are supposed to be a second grade teacher, or for some people, maybe you are to become a principal of a school, or create a school program, or create a new curriculum, or maybe you are supposed to create desks or toys. Like, all I know is that the universe is going to put you in the right spot to develop the right skills, to see where the problems are, to see how your skill set can align with the needs of second graders, to reach the greatest number of people that God wants you to help. You see what I'm saying? So when you figure, let me just recap, because I feel like I get really excited sometimes. If your magic isn't working, it may be because you are not in alignment with your divine purpose. And I know you don't know the magic doesn't know what to do. Like you keep doing money spells, or maybe you keep trying to, you're doing love spells. This is just my opinion. I believe that when you are in alignment with your purpose, I think this is when you meet your person. I think that, I don't know. I don't know. I think, let's just say, for some reason, I'm biting my words. I'm chewing my words up, because I know there are a lot of people thinking, like, I met my person and I was lost, and right? I mean, I'm not saying you can't meet your person, and I'm not saying the person is going to be in your field, or you guys are going to share the same purpose. But I do believe that when you get into your purpose, when you come into alignment with who you are and what it is you're supposed to be doing, this is when you find love. And now you're not trying to do spells to try to get somebody who may not be interested in you, but instead you're putting yourself in front of that person. That person is going to be able to see you. You're going to be able to see them because you're in alignment. So, spell the first thing you're going to do. And maybe I should just keep this video right here. If your magic isn't working, it may be because you're out of alignment with your divine plan, your soul contract. And you should probably work on some magic, some really boring magic that I know. It's not that it's boring to me, but it ain't sexy. Okay, I think that when people start thinking about, oh man, you mean finding my purpose, my heart's desire, finding out where I belong, where I fit in the world, like that's boring. No, I want money. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want money, but the money is really it's an outcome, I think, of you being in alignment with your plan. And you don't know how that money is going to come, but getting in alignment with your purpose, and your purpose is going to be a part of your passion and what brings you joy and where you are able to help the most people, right? So that's one. Now, the other thing is, I feel like, I think I've said it. Every gift or talent is not your purpose. So just because you end up teaching second grade, it doesn't mean that you are meant to remain as a teacher. That may have been just a training camp so that you can assess what the needs are, so that you can help students in the second grade, or help schools, help curriculums, help teachers. You know what I'm saying? Or it could just be for you to teach second grade. But I ask people all the time, keep your eyes open, because one thing life has taught me is I remember when I wanted to learn how to do tarot, because everybody was doing tarot. I was determined to learn the language. I wanted to know what all those cards meant. And when I first learned how to what the cards meant, I bought all these books about tarot readings and how to read tarot, and I would have to like put on my oils and just get in this energy, and I would feel all these spirits around me, and I could tell when I was tapped in, and I thought, okay, this is something I'm going to be doing in my life. I'm going to be a tarot reader, you know what I mean? And that wasn't. It wasn't. It was something that I was supposed to learn, and that's how I created my Jungle Beauty Goddess Oracle deck, and which is the root of me animating I create these animated oracle readings. But if I had not learned tarot and all how to do readings, then I wouldn't have been able to tap into those messages. So, but I wasn't supposed to stay there. So even when I was doing it, I used to feel like, this doesn't feel like, when I first learned it started, my channel started to grow, and I was doing like those pick a card readings, and I enjoyed every moment of it. But I knew, like, it was a feeling like, okay, you're supposed to move on, Cassandra. This is just you're picking up a wrench, you're picking up a hammer or a tool to build the blueprint. But this is not. Sometimes you can lose sight of what you're building by focusing more on the tools that you're building with. And I say this because I see a lot of students who, they become professional students and they love school, they do well in school, but they haven't figured out what they're going to actually do with their life. But it's a tool to help them build a career, Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, how do I say this? So we've discovered that, one, you may need to just really do magic to focus on what is your purpose. Two, once you find that purpose, it just may be a tool in your box to build a part, to be a part of your blueprint. And I would say along the way, just keep, when something doesn't feel right, don't force it. Like, don't try to make it work. Like that yearning or that aching inside of you that's saying, this doesn't feel like I feel like I've learned my lessons. I feel like this is just a piece of the puzzle, and no one is going to tell you this. It's something that your heart is going to tell you, so you're going to have to pay attention to that. But then the other thing is, I think that a lot of times people follow trends. I think I talked about that earlier, but I want to make sure I say this correctly. How do I say this? Let me tell you a story. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Elijah McCoy. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, "the real McCoy." I love that. Is it the real McCoy? So Elijah McCoy was the son of slaves. He was the first generation. I think both of his parents, that's right, both of his parents were slaves. He was the first person in his family born into freedom. And he wanted to be an engineer. And all of the slaves and the people, they put pennies together, dimes, nickels, so that he could go to engineering school because he was really smart. Now, at the time, America did not allow people of color to go to college. So they saved their money. Now, it wasn't just him, it was a community. They all saved their money, and he went to school in Europe. And they allowed him to get his degree in engineering. And so when he came back to America with his degree in engineering, he thought, okay, now America is going to, they're going to respect me and everything is going to be great because, he has his blueprint. He went to school. He's followed through on that. He comes back to America and he's looking for a job. And the only job they would give him is moving coal or something, like inside of on a railroad track. And so his job was, whenever this oil when the trains would run, whenever this little gadget would run out of oil, they would have to stop all of the trains to re-oil this little gadget before the trains could start again. And they said they lost a lot of time and a lot of money in production, but there was nothing they just considered it a part of the trains. But so anyway, Elijah McCoy, when he was working in the coal mines on the trail, on the train tracks, it said he was very depressed, and he just felt that God had just been cruel to him because he had gone through so much, and his family had gone through so much in order for him to be able to become an engineer, just for them to give him a job that anyone could have done without a degree. And so he was, working in the coal mine, and with his degree, he's very angry, he's embarrassed. But what he noticed is that this little oil cup where they had to, stop the trains and stop production, and to re-oil this little gadget, right? He looked at it and he created some type of gadget that provided continuous oil for for the tracks, or whatever this little system was. And anyway, they tried to take this. he patented it, but they tried to take the idea from him, but nobody could duplicate the gadget that he created. And so even though people tried to watch him and they tried to figure it out, and and that's where the term the real McCoy came from, was that no, we want the real McCoy, because his was the only one that worked. Now, I tell you this story because, you see, when he went to school, when he went to engineering school, they gave him a perception, a cognitive skill set that the average person who was probably working in the coal mines, they couldn't see it. They couldn't solve that problem because they weren't built for it. You know what I'm saying? So he could have just said, well, I don't want to sound, when you follow your passion, I think you end up where you belong. And I think you do amazing things. And that's what I'm trying to say. He didn't make a mistake by going to college in Europe. He did. And anyway, he changed the whole train industry. And I saw a little plaque for him, Elijah McCoy. And I always get chills when I hear that story. So, listen, guys. Do your magic. Look, I'm going to talk to future Cassandra. Give me a moment. Future Cassandra, if you're having a moment where you feel like, I know you want more money. Girl, I know you want, and I know things may seem tight. But when you get lost, I don't want you to continuously to do money spells. I don't want you to look at trends. I don't want you to look outside of yourself. I want you to look within. I want you to ask yourself, what do I have to offer? What do I have to give? What are my gifts and talents? What do I love? Why am I here? Who do I want to help? And that's where I want you to focus your magic, okay? I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.